first, and then I'll... Hold on there, Larry. Good morning, and welcome to the Funny Farm Rescue and Sanctuary located in Mays Landing, New Jersey. We're about an hour from Philadelphia and about 40 minutes from Atlantic City. This is an animal sanctuary where we have over 600 rescued animals. This is a little behind the scenes tour. A lot of you that have been watching us have seen my house. But if you come to the Funny Farm, you get to walk around and see most of the animals. A lot of people don't realize that I actually live at the Funny Farm. It's always fun when I say, where do you live? I live at the Funny Farm. There are quite a bit of animals inside as well as out. I have presently 9 dogs. We did get Scrappy Got Adopted 3 days ago, and it's going very well. They have other Yorkies, and they don't have as many animals as I have. I think that Yorkie was a little like, because 8 dogs, 20 cats. Now I have 2 roosters and a chicken in the house. This is the blind chicken, Larry. We actually got this swing donated by one of our followers, and it was much lower to the ground, and it was for Adele the diva chicken. She was not a fan. She's like, it takes a lot of energy to like stay balanced on here. So Larry is blind. He doesn't realize how high up he is. He is a silky chicken, a silky rooster. He was brought to me from Philadelphia, and these 2 young ladies rescued him. I don't know if he was in a cockfight, but what is a chicken rooster like this doing in Philadelphia? Probably no good. So they rescued him and brought him to me. They asked first. I really am not taking any more roosters because we have over 100. But this one was a very special case, and I just felt like, you know, they lived in Philadelphia and said they can't have him in their house. So I brought him in. They said, are you sure it's a rooster? And I said, roosters and chickens, you can usually tell them apart instantly. Silky chickens and roosters look very similar. The silky roosters have more of a fluffy tail. And I said, no, I think it's a rooster. He never made a peep for, I would say, 4 days, 5 days. And then after I started to get some food, he lived in a little box because we figured out that he was blind. So I don't know what had happened to him, but so he had to know where his food was. And I had to like peck my finger in his food so he could hear it. And then he would start to eat and then drink, same thing. I kind of pecked the water and made a swishing sound. Hold on there. So his balance is very good. I'm surprised with his eyes, with his eyes not working. They said that the vet did look at him and said he could see shadows. So when it is sunny, he goes over to the sun and tries to like hang out. But I don't think his vision is what it should be. But he absolutely loves the swing. So this rooster is living in my house now, along with Adele. Adele is not a fan. She does not want to share the spotlight with anyone. So he most of the time will live in his area to eat. And then I let him walk around, and I'll usually put Adele in with me. If I'm in my office or something, she'll hang out with me while he walks around and eats some of her food. Because, that is not okay if he's eating her food.
They want you to go back to Scrappy.
Okay, so back to Scrappy.
Everybody's asking about Scrappy.
Scrappy, for those who saw last week, was a 12-year-old dog that had to be surrendered. They had a baby, and the people said that the child was allergic. I think that maybe sometimes Yorkies can be a little nippy, and with a new baby, it might not have worked out really well. They didn't want that to be the reason, because then it's hard to place a dog if they're like little biters. So I said, well, what the heck? He can come here. He's a little guy, and I have a couple other little guys. But I really like, what is going on? Are you swinging by yourself? It was a little overwhelming for him because there were so many animals, and he was a single animal in a single home. And the people said, oh, he doesn't really like his crate. He lived in his crate when he was here. He eventually got used to it after a few days. But thank goodness, our Vice President Vicky had a friend named Stephanie and Mike, and they had Yorkies, and they have rescued others. So they came over and met him and decided to give it a try. So he's been there 3 or 4 days now. and I'm 99.9% sure that they're going to keep him. However, if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, sometimes they mark, sometimes they don't get along. It's not like the funny farm. Not everybody gets along.
Did you say he's deaf?
The vet found out that he was deaf because when I went to go pick him up a few times, he was like, and I was like, ah! So the people that have him now, Stephanie and Mike, said as long as they show him, like, hey, I'm right here, then they touch him, he was much better. So the vet said he is deaf. His vision, he definitely had some cataracts because his eyes had that like glazed over white thing because, he's older. But Yorkies can live quite a long time, so hopefully he'll live out the rest of his years doing really well. If something should not if it doesn't work out, then he could come back here instantly. Like, he maybe won't be as happy as being at their house with just a few animals as compared to the funny farm, but at least they'll have a place. You'll have to forgive me. I'm only firing on a couple cylinders because I am on puppy duty.
So that's normal?
Shut up, Matt. Oh, I'm not supposed to say shut up. Stop saying that, Matt.
Yeah, stop saying that.
He said, yeah. I'm Polish and blonde sometimes, but
how many times a night do you get up with
last
with
night, I got up 6 times with Jesse. So I kind of felt like, let me get Jesse.
Wait. First
what?
First let me close him. Before you pick him up.
So I thought
now you can get him.
Jesse! He's sound asleep. So Jesse is another Megaesophagus puppy. So, we are a farm sanctuary where we have, most of the animals we have are farm animals. This is Adele, the one who lives in the house. She has a book after her, Adele the Diva Chicken. Her nails are painted. She usually wears a poopy diaper, but somebody washed them wrong. I won't say any names, Matt. And we have to get new diapers. So they're a specific diaper, but she doesn't have any diapers right now. So my friend's going to help me put on some new elastic because they kind of hang off of her and then the poop comes right out. So there's lots of poop on the floor at the funny farm these couple days. So Tucker is my first, he's actually my second Megaesophagus dog. For those who've been following me, I've had Chucky, the miracle dog. He had the worst case of Megaesophagus ever in the history of University of Penn. No matter what I did, sitting him up on his chair, he would instantly throw up. We call it up Chuck because it's really not coming. Go ahead, you want to get in and show them? All right, I guess he's going to show you. Trying to say, like, hello, I'll do it. Oh, except Caesar, you got to get out of his chair. Out. Come on, big boy. All right, Tucker, go ahead. Come on, go ahead, get in.
Lori says, we are coming to visit today. Is there anything specific you need?
Specifically, if anybody can bring me extra large puppy pads. We have a lot of the smaller ones, which are great. We have to just double them up. But we have a couple messy Marvins in the house, so I have those 2 roosters where I have to do layers of puppy pads. And then after so many hours, I roll them up and throw them away. So this is Tucker. He is the second Megaesophagus puppy I have. He is 2.5 years old. He came to me as a baby. These people, Cindy and Mike, unexpectedly had puppies. They adopted a dog, and she was pregnant unbeknownst to them. And they had 9 puppies. 1 puppy was stillborn, and the rest were all a little special because mommy and daddy were related. So that usually causes a defect. One of the defects is the Megaesophagus. Nikki, we hear you. Is the Megaesophagus, and that's where the food just sits in his chest and doesn't make it down to his belly. We don't have books, Matt. Really?
Oh, hold on, I'll get him.
Oh, here, I'll just hold this.
Yeah, hold that yourself. Don't move it, right there.
Okay.
Right there. Wait.
All right.
Right there.
All right, go.
You got Tucker more than you, so.
So what? That's good.
Okay, just
They don't need to see me. They need to see Tucker, right? So he has to eat only liquid food. So it's blended up in like a doggy milkshake-like substance. And it's puppy chow mixed with water. I don't know if I'm doing a good job, but here's puppy chow mixed with water. We do 1 can and 1 water. We blend it up, and then after he's done eating, he'll eat 2 bowls at a shot, and he usually eats about 7 times a day. Some days it's 5, some days it's 9. So at least we get 5 bowls into him at a time. And not at a time, one at a time throughout the day, every about 3 hours. So I just wanted to, oh, that's the wrong book. I just want to show you guys. So this is the Megaesophagus dog. This was from Chucky, the miracle dog that we had. And you can see how his esophagus is enlarged. And the food, if he eats like a normal dog on all fours, it just sits in his chest. It's supposed to go down to his belly. So unless he sits up, that's when it goes down to his belly. So I swore I would never have 2 Megaesophagus dogs at once. Well, I wound up getting Jesse, and he came from a family that got him for Christmas. They got him, I always say no Christmas presents, but if it's for your own family and the parents are both in agreement, then that's okay. So
Wait,
they got...
Jody, can Tucker drink water like normal?
So Jody, Tucker does drink water like normal once in a while, but mostly he gets so much liquid in him, it solves that water problem too. So
Because that's mixed with
it's mixed with a can of water. So most dogs are like all the time with water. He's kind of only once in a while if he is a bad boy and gets into some poo-poo outside because the other dogs are teaching him.
Nancy wants to know, why is Jesse sick, or why were you feeding him? And I love how he's sleeping and you're awake.
I know. I wonder why he's sleeping right now. It is like having a toddler. I'll be honest with you. I had a breakdown the second day, I think. I was standing at my sink over here and I just started to cry. I think it's sheer exhaustion. And there's a lot to do here. I have volunteers. I do not do it by myself. Volunteers, for the most part, have been handling the outside critters, but there's a lot inside to handle. So this is, oh, there's Sleepy Boy. I do the same thing, I know. So this is little Jesse. He is a black lab and a blue tick hound. I can never get that.
I think he's all black lab.
A lot of people say, oh, it's all black lab. Who knows? But I think mommy and daddy were a little bit of a mix. Oh, that's the rooster. That's Larry the rooster on a swing. He's like, what about me? I'm over here. So I hear that all day and night because he's blind. I don't think he knows when it's daytime, when it's not nighttime. Oh, Tucker. All right, we'll come over to you. Let's go over here. Let me bring his food. Tucker's like, Tucker, you just ate.
Hold on 1 second. Don't start yet.
Oh,
I
Tucker.
got to go around the table.
Why?
Okay. There's the chicken swinging.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
So he has to eat the same way that Tucker does. Tucker, you just had yours. You're going to have yours in a minute. Hold on. Okay, so what I usually do is hold his 2 little feet, and then his ears are so darn long, though, they go into the bowl. So he's really a messy eater. I usually have a lot of paper towels underneath me when I'm doing this. So he knows already. He doesn't fight me to sit up. He knows that is how he has to eat. And is that better, Matt?
Yeah, he had something on his...
You didn't want him to have eye boogies for his...
that was on his head.
Oh, okay. So Tucker, I do feed them simultaneously a lot, and it's not an easy task.
The scene you had with Jesse at the airport running towards you makes all the efforts precious. I loved it.
Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, so for those who don't know, I am a private pilot. I don't get to fly very often. And yesterday I was supposed to have all these different chores, and I was having such a bad day. Not a bad day, I just was overwhelmed. And you don't get a lot of time to yourself ever in this house. I don't even have a spot for myself. I used to have my room to myself, but I don't even have that nowadays. So I kind of escape from flying. So I did take them to the airport with me, and babysitter Matt got to sit with the animals, and I got to go up for an hour and clear my brain so I can it's like a reset. You know, people say you can get compassion fatigue, and that's when you care too much. And it happens with a lot of rescuers. You have to recharge your own battery because you're not good for anybody else if you don't take care of yourself. And there's a lot of times I work full time at the Federal Aviation Administration. I still have my job. For those who don't know, I am a government contractor, and we just had our contract renewed. We had a rebid, proposal, the whole 9 yards. It's a big, kind of like a big gigantic book report for kids in school, and we wound up getting it. We found out the day before Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve, it was one of the best presents, because no matter what, with COVID, it's an uncertain time. And everybody says, oh my gosh, how are you doing with COVID and how are you managing? Because we, just like everybody else, had to cancel all of our events. And speaking of events, we have one coming up. Most of our events have been canceled, our big ones. We're having a trivia night, and it's a lot of fun. I told you he does it all the time. It's on Zoom, and it's Expiro sponsored with Nor'easter Nick is our host, and he is wonderful. And that is Thursday, January. Tickets are, how much do we know?
I think they're $10 a
I think they're $10 for the whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about my own event. This is like not the first time we were doing it either. I'm telling you, it's because I'm sleepy. I'm a little sleepy. My brain is not working all the way. So it's $10 for your whole family, and you can play. And it's a lot of fun because everybody gets in on the action. Not everybody's going to know every answer. They have stuff for kids, stuff for adults. Funny Farm trivia. So make sure you know your Funny Farm trivia, and we do have prizes. So that is on the 21st. So they are the only fundraisers we have been really able to do. We are not going to schools right now. We have done virtual schools. So if any schools are interested, they can contact us. We do that for free for schools, where we walk around and do virtual learning about the animals instead of them being able to, since they can't come here on a field trip. People were, wait, I want to do this first. So we are getting, on one of our wish lists, we asked for gift cards. Wonderful. Thank you so much. We can kind of get what we need. Because it's hard for people to say, hey, get us a bag of feed called Strategy for Anna the horse. And they're 50-pound bags. It's a lot. So we can actually buy them ourselves. The thing is, Tractor Supply doesn't tell me who gave anything. We can't thank you. So if you want us to thank you, if you want to let us know, hey, we sent you a $100 gift card from Tractor Supply, just so you know. We did get 3 this week, so thank you so much, you guys. We are catching up on our thank yous from the 21 Cats and Christmas. Slow but sure. My mom always said, Lori, you thank people. You don't ever ignore them. If I was not cashing any checks until I was sending a thank you, well, it was getting to the point where it was getting to be more than, a couple weeks. And people were, if they're like me, I don't always balance my checkbook. So, you know.
Maddie from Seattle said you make her Sunday mornings.
Seattle, thank you, Maddie. Maddie, right? M-A-D-D-I?
Yeah,
Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker. So thanks, you guys, for watching. Please let us know where you're from, like Maddie just did from Seattle. I want to do a little shout out to my fence guy, John. He is our invisible fence guy who has to come and fix fences all the time. And it's for when this guy can wear his little collar. He's off leash. He doesn't go anywhere. But when he gets bigger, all my dogs know the perimeter of the Funny Farm. They don't leave. But this guy has got to learn little Jesse. So he is coming on a Sunday to fix the fence because we dig holes often here. And my volunteers don't know where that fence line is and sometimes breaks through it. I think this is the 3rd time. So, John, if you're watching with your coffee, we'll see you later. And thank you so much for coming and fixing that urgently. That's our invisible fence guy. A lot of people are feeling sorry for themselves. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything.
You mean like you when you had a breakdown?
Yeah, like me. I'll tell you, I was a big baby. I was on my own nerves. I'm like, I can't stand myself today. So if I go flying, I like myself better. So that's what I did yesterday. There's this little girl. How old? She's 14 years old. Her name is Avery. She sent us this card with a $5 gift card. $5 gift card to Walmart. And this little girl is unbelievable. She has cancer. And the only thing that she wants to do is help animals. She sent us this card. You're one of the places I choose to help because my passion for animals. Thank you for everything you do for the animals every day. I usually handwrite these cards, but unfortunately I was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma cancer, and writing is something I can't do right now, but I want to keep helping animals, so I had to type this out instead. Please check out my Facebook page, Avery's Positive Change, so P-A-W, Positive Change, to follow my mission. And I'll tell you, that's somebody who, even if there wasn't COVID, she's sitting in a hospital room, and she sits there on her bed and tries to get donations for different animal rescues. I was just, that's when I feel like I'm such a baby. Like, that's when I get on my own nerves, when I hear somebody like that that's doing something, and she's 14. That's our future. They're the people that we want running the Funny Farm when I'm long gone. So that's why the Funny Farm will be here forever. I still have a job, so even if we don't have as many donations or fundraisers, I have a job to help out, and I will always keep it going some way, somehow. And my supporters have been amazing. Even though it's been hard for everybody, I want to thank each and every one of you, whether it be cash or gift cards or food, blankets, you name it, we get it. If we ask for it, we usually get it. So thank you so much. It's been tough getting Clorox wipes for everybody. We go through them by the barrel. Right! I wonder why. So back to Jesse. So thank you guys for everything. Like I said, some of you we can't even thank if it's sent to us over Amazon, but we just want to say thank you. You guys are amazing. No, they don't always give us. It's like anonymous. So this is Nick. Shh, shh, shh.
Okay, they're asking where Nemo is.
Oh, you can let Nemo out. So Nemo is. So I didn't bring up Nemo. I said when who was living here.
Yeah.
What?
His bottle's right there.
Okay, so we have Nemo the goat, 9 dogs, about 20 cats, give or take. Sometimes a couple of them run in and out. And then 2 roosters and a chicken. So I wanted to show you while Mr. Jesse is sleeping, we're relaxing. You can't see his ribs anymore. Earlier, if you look at earlier pictures, every single rib was showing along with his hip bones. And he is just doing great. Here he comes. Hey, come here, Nemo. Do you want to try and eat something? All right, I don't think it's been 10.
Over the can.
All right, no. Stop eating my. Stop, Nemo. He's eating my hair. This one of my volunteers. I said, "Oh, your haircut looks so nice." She said, "Thank you. I had to do it because of Nemo." And I said, "What?" He kept jumping up and eating her hair, and she thought it was so cute that he was munching, but literally was eating it, and it took a big chunk out of her hair, so she had to get it straightened out. You want to have some milk? Nope. He's like, I just want your.
Want milk?
I want your hay-like hair. Okay, there he goes. So Nemo's getting to be a pretty big boy, but you can see he still wants his milk. He's still a little bit of a baby, and he needs to get fixed. He is that old now. I think he's 12 weeks?
Yeah.
And he is very naughty in the house lately. Is eating everything, as you know. Oh, we had that check, the $200 check that was eaten, Miss Ilsa's check, and she's in her 80s, so she is not, I don't even think she's on Facebook or anything. And we finally were able to put together enough of her name and address to figure out who it was. So we called her just to let her know if she's trying to balance her checkbook. She's not going to, because somebody ate the check, huh? And she was so sweet. She actually sent us a $250 check to replace the $200 check. And Nemo wrote her a card back. And if it's on Facebook. If you, can everybody still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Phew. All right. I wasn't going to sit. I know. Stuff happens. I wasn't going to.
How long is Nemo going to stay inside?
He is going to stay inside till it's warm, unfortunately, because he doesn't have the fur like the other goats have. With any animal, whether it's a rabbit, they have to get acclimated to the cold. They can't just be in the house in the heat one day and then thrown into the cold air. The cold. It's just not good for them. So I do bring him outside. I'm trying to get him acclimated. All right, you come out. I'm trying to get him acclimated so he can just go outside and hang out with people. We do have a little bonfire where we're roasting marshmallows, so he usually hangs out at the bonfire pit. So if you're coming today and you want to see a certain animal that's in the house, ask. We'll go get Adele. We'll get Larry. We'll get Nemo if he is in the house. But he's been hanging out on visiting days by the fire pit. So if you're over there, you could just go see Nemo that way. All right, has it been 10 minutes? So should we walk outside? Because lately,
It's probably been 10 minutes.
we haven't been walking outside because the weather was so crappy. But it's nicer today, so I think we'll go out. What? He's a chewer. Ouch, 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 ouch. Ah. Not nice.
Don't let him eat the microphone. That's the only one we have.
Ouch. I know. I think he broke the microphone last week, right?
No, you did.
No, I didn't, Matt.
It was, no, it was Jesse.
Oh, Jesse. So the little biter here, right? You bit the microphone last week. Okay, let's go.
Did you ever get your car seat for Jesse?
Oh, thank you. Yes,
That was Debbie Carr.
Debbie Carr. We received 3 of them, 3 car seats. So thank you. We're going to be able to have one, wash the other, and then we have a third. So we're going to just keep rotating because he is such a messy eater that. Let's take him outside right now. I'm going to have to get my coat, but let's.
Tim Rainus wants to see Caesar.
Caesar.
She said she's coming to hold him.
All right, wait. I have to put this one's coat on.
Here.
Hold on there, mister. Maybe
Janet Drake is watching from West Virginia. Ow!
Janet Drake from West Virginia. Hold on there, Bubby.
Just poked me.
All right, somebody has to get his coat on because he is such a little guy. He is not acclimated to outside enough. He is so cute, and he looks like a little monkey in this coat. Hold on there.
All right, let me get my coat.
Just don't fall in the pool. Actually, the pool cover is on. For those who've been watching us for a while, everybody knows that Matt fell in the pool.
Is that you pushed me?
I did not push you. That would have been funny, but I didn't. Uh-oh, what's happening? Hang on. Uh-oh, this is why I don't have little kids. Okay. Yeah, I'll take my coat. Thank you. Let's see.
You need help putting it on with the dog?
I need help putting his on. Here we go. That's a little belly. So see how big his belly is now?
Look at his face.
He's like, Mom, I swore I would never dress my animals, but you have to sometimes. Oh, look, he's got a little hoodie. He's like in the hood. He's like Rocky. Okay.
Left arm.
Left arm. Okay, thank you. For those who haven't seen Matt, there's Matt. Thank you. I'm good. All right. Woo! Hold on.
Let me get my coat. Don't move because you're still in here.
Okay. All right, we're going out.
I have to get my coat.
Nemo, let's go out. Are we going to leave Larry right there?
Yeah, he'll be.
Let's get Nemo out.
Okay, first let me get Nemo out and then I'll come get the camera.
Okay.
So keep talking.
Let me make sure if there was anything else I was forgetting to talk about.
Okay, let's go, Nemo.
So let us know where you're from. We are open today from 8 to 4. We are accepting Christmas trees. We have a lot. The animals eat them. The goats eat them. The yogi eats them. I guess. Wow.
What was that?
That was Larry. I don't know if he knew how far down it was, but he was done swinging. He went down. He flew down. There's a swing. Oh, he scared me. He just was on my foot.
And one of the pans fell.
I know. So, yeah, I have a lot of stuff in this house. So, wait, let's just walk in here and we'll show them where Nemo lives real quick.
Okay.
Oh, and let's meet Nikki. Some people want to see Nikki. There's Nikki. I didn't say about Nikki living here. I forget. How I could forget Nikki is beyond me. She is a cockatoo who is usually very, very, very vocal. They live to be very old, so if you ever decide to get a parrot, you have to will them to somebody because they will outlive you. Hello. Unless you're a really bad parent, they will outlive you, and you don't take care of them right. That's Nikki. Hi, Nick. How you gonna? Oh, she's not sure about this dog. Who was that? Who was that?
I saw your airport video of Jesse yesterday. It was so cute.
Thank you. I know he loved going to the airport. He ran all around. He's really good along with my other dogs. They're off leash, and they are, they come on command. So he's really
Robin,
turned out to be a great dog.
Outside until you blow out the candles.
Oh, Robin, I blew out one. So there is one more we have to do. Thank you, Robin. Was that Robin, or?
No, that's
Another Robin? Thank you, Robin. I know. I have a friend, Bonnie. She would yell at me, don't. Make sure those candles are out. Her husband's a firefighter. She yells at me all the time. But candles, we love candles because I'm usually home, and the candles are on in every room.
Your bathroom?
No. So I have an extra chicken. I have a rooster that was here. Chickens and ducks. Let's go out. Don't don't live forever. And if they are at their end, we keep them comfortable. So I walked into my bathroom this morning and it smelled like the chicken house. And I do have cleaning people that help me. My girlfriend Celia and her mom come and help clean every week.
Corn.
You're not supposed to eat that. No, it's not corn. It's just crumbles. Come on. Let's go. Go. Come on. There's all sorts of stuff in here. Come on. All right, let's go. How about if I move it up higher? Then he can't get to it. All right.
Linda Smith-Stevens, I look forward to watching you every Sunday, even before my Sunday church. You make me feel good, and I know the dogs. I can't see
We're going to try and do, I'm glad you guys enjoy it. We're going to continue to do our Sunday Lives. We are going to try and do some other days as well, maybe short segments of like the goat hoof trimming or horse grooming. Excuse you. Some different, all right, Jesse, go ahead, buddy. Some different, he's like, I'm out, man. This is cold. Jesse, come on. You can volunteer here any Tuesday, any Sunday. You don't have to call.
Do you want to film her eating?
All right, we'll go. We'll just, the goat's running me over, and he's pounding. Hey, he's starting to buck. So if you have little kids, be careful because these little horns, he's just playing, but he did knock over a kid last week, right? And he jumps up. You know how you're trying to teach your dogs not to do that?
Margie, do you cook in your kitchen?
Is that Margie? I do.
Samples.
Margie samples. I do not really cook. Who has time for cooking? It's like Adele. Who has time for laying eggs? Everything's usually microwaved. My oven actually doesn't work. The only thing I used to do was I used to bake cookies. I make really good chocolate chip cookies, and that's what people used to get for Christmas. I don't really do Christmas presents anymore because who has time for that?
Dave and Rich, I would love to see your farm at sunrise.
Sunrise, it's actually really pretty. I've had some people come at nighttime and they're like, it looks so different at night. But wait, back to my cooking. I cook a few things. I am a vegetarian, so I cook on the stovetop, but that's about the extent of it. So I'm definitely not a cook. That is not my forte. People say, what don't you do? Cooking is it. All right, so this is when you drive in. Let's walk out, Matt, and walk in like we're going to walk in here. Hello. Hi, guys.
Hi. Beautiful day.
Beautiful day. Thanks for coming. Come on, Nemo, get out of the road. Hi.
How are you?
So when you come, you do have to wear your mask. I know I don't have mine on right now. I will be wearing that.
Because of the video.
Because of the video, I don't want to sound like this. This is where you can park. This is on Railroad Boulevard. Make sure you put us in your GPS in your phone. Don't use your GPS in your car because it will get you lost. You can park on the street. It's almost safer to park inside the farm, believe it or not. The street is not really wide. So we put cones up so you can park further down if you want. And there are some other streets that you can park on. And you can see it's 1 mile an hour and you can see why. Come here, dogs. All the dogs are in the street. Caesar, puppy.
Puppy. Oh, puppy's going to be a problem.
Puppy, come on.
Maybe.
He's coming. He's coming. So here's the funny farm. You'll see a sign out front. And then as you drive in, look at Nemo. As you drive in, we do have eggs. I didn't put the eggs out yet. We don't put the eggs out until it warms up a little bit. We have contactless eggs that will be on this table in a little bit. You can drop the money in the...
I'll show how that opens.
This opens like a mailbox up at the top. People are like, how do I get in?
All the dogs are in?
So you have to sign a waiver before you come.
Caesar and puppy.
Caesar and puppy.
All right. We'll get them. We'll get a volunteer to get those in. So they have to fill out a waiver before you come. I'll go over here so the sun's not in your face. You guys, I think we're not going to fight right now. So you have to fill out a waiver on funnyfarmrescue.org. You only have to fill it out once, and then you can come any Tuesday, any Sunday. You don't have to call. You don't have to make an appointment. Just show up. We are asking people to wear your masks and to stay safe. We have not had any issues. You can meet the donations inspector. Actually, no, in training. So he tries to get people to leave a donation, but it's not required. If you want to leave a donation, 100% goes to the animals. And if you are in between jobs and don't have any money, you can still come. We were saying about how we accept Christmas trees. Here's a couple of them. Yogi has actually flipped it over his head to put it on his back, like a back scratcher. They do eat them after a while. I think some of them taste better to them than others. They eat them. They use them as hairbrushes. So you'll see them along the trees and they scrape along them. Same thing. They'll get down on them and scratch their face and have a good time with the trees. So we are still accepting Christmas trees.
Antoinette, do you always wear cowboy hats?
I usually wear a cowboy hat, Antoinette, just so when people are looking for me, we get quite busy, and I'll say, just look for the girl in the cowboy hat. Sometimes there's other people with cowboy hats, but yes, usually I do. Not when I'm at work. I dress professionally if I go into the office. Today I don't even have cowboy boots on today. These are just
work boots.
They're like my little work boots, and quite frankly, I was too tired to go figure out what boots to wear, and these were the ones I had on yesterday, and I put them because of Jesse. I am definitely sleep deprived and a little cranky, and not, like I said, not firing on all cylinders, but getting through it. So it really is, when people are taking on puppies, he is not potty trained. So forget the Megaesophagus. Just the potty training alone is enough to drive you batty.
But he's learning.
But he is learning. So it's only been a week, and
he is going to the door now to sit there.
Yeah, he is going to the door and sit, and then through the night he sleeps in bed with me. I'll tell you, he has wet my bed.
Brian Stantz, good morning from Colorado.
Hey, Brian Stantz, my buddy from Colorado. So you're up early there. It's snowing?
Yeah.
I'm jealous. Brian, it is 39 degrees. We are going to be busy today because if it's a halfway decent day, there's not a lot of places you can really go. Outside, you still wear your mask, but if you really need a break, go away from everybody. You can find your own little corner, take off your mask, take a breath, do whatever you got to do. We aren't doing hay rides right now, and we aren't doing our Tucker demonstrations because of COVID. It was gathering too many people together. But you can walk around with your family or your friends and check things out. There's a lot to see and do. A lot of the animals are loose. All my dogs are loose. You can see all the Christmas trees that we've gotten. So we throw them in to different pens, and then the goats are always loose, so they go and eat them. We have another stash where
it's 25 degrees in Colorado.
25 degrees in Colorado. I'm actually not missing the cold because it's so much harder to work on the farm when things are frozen. It's kind of
Simerson from Detroit, Michigan.
Michigan, Kim, thanks for joining us this morning. I wonder if my Bonnie and Jim are joining us from Florida.
I saw them.
Oh, Bonnie and Jim?
Yep.
How warm is it there today? Maybe I don't want to know. Never mind, Bon. I don't think I want to know.
Are you allowed to visit inside the cat barn?
Yes, we have a cat house, and it is heated in there. So if you get too cold, you can go on in. This is Stormy, one of my 11 horses. I've lost count again. Blue Eye, Brown Eye. He was a rescue sweetheart of a horse. His name is Stormy.
He needs a bath.
They all need baths. So thank goodness it's drying out. You can see that I have the cow, Yogi with the horns, that was playing with the Christmas tree on our video this week. Star is the other horse, and then in the back there is 2,500-pound T-Bone. He is a red Angus steer, and he weighs 1.25 tons. Let's go see the bad boys. So a lot of times when people come, they don't get to see my naughty horses. A lot of times they're in timeout in the very back. So we don't really want people getting bitten. That's hence the waiver, just so you know. Everybody has to sign a waiver before they come. They are one of the big reasons why. There's Ricky, our peacock. The one peacock that's all white. He's very special, white with the brown, the blue front. He is famous. Him and his wife, Lucy, were rescued. I rescued them from a condominium in Mays Landing. They were going to euthanize them because they were pooping on everybody's decks and eating their flowers. Now he's going to the side, yeah. So he broke his back. Somebody hit him with their car, broke his back. They said he would never walk again. I took him to the vet. And I said, was he in a lot of pain? And I said, because his wife, Lucy, will not be okay. He's not saying goodbye. And he said, probably not too bad. So I brought him home, rehabbed him, and he is now, this is like 5 years later, he's doing great. This is one of my bad boys. This is Politico. He was a racer, and he wasn't a good racer. What happens with bad racers on the racetrack, sometimes they're told to perform more, and they hit them, whip them, whatever they do. I'm not saying every one of them's bad, but there's a lot of bad on that racetrack. So we took him in. You can see his mane has some issues. I have a hard time even trimming it or brushing it because he tries to bite me. So he has put me in the hospital 2 times early on. Very rarely do I have a problem with horses. I can usually handle them. I'm like, no problem, I can deal with it. But he could be challenging. So if you come over here, they're not in the very back because it was so muddy. Be very careful. We usually have a little sign up that says, I bite. This is Jelly. I call her Jelly in the pit. She was a famous horse because she fell into my pit in the garage and survived. She only got one little scrape, but I had to fill in my pit like to work on cars. She survived that, and she's a sweetheart. So
Bonnabelle Thompson says it's only 47 this morning, and they're at 52 now.
Wow, Bonnie. So 52. Okay, I don't feel like we're missing that too badly. You might as well come here and visit, Bon. So, and then we have Miles in the back. I don't know where all the donkeys are. Are they out?
I think they might be.
The donkeys are out. So we have a lot of donkeys. If you're worried about your kids feeding animals, maybe skip the horses and go right to the donkeys. They take food with their little lips. They are really, really gentle with kids. We do have little guinea hens. They're the polka dotted chickens. You can see she's feeding them. At times, when it's like mating season, they sometimes can be naughty and they sometimes attack your kids. So just be careful if you see them. I think they're in a good place right now. You can see they're feeding Yogi. Hi guys, good morning. Good morning. And you see this young lady is demonstrating how to feed. She's holding her flat hand. We'll do one more here. Holding a flat hand, and then he licks the food off of her. The only thing that she does is she'll get a little slobbery, and she is a farm girl. You can tell because she doesn't care. Thanks guys for the demonstration. And here's Annalise once again scooping poop. She's our in-house pooper scooper.
What's the way to do it?
Guys, show us how you. Well, she's actually, this is our manure pit. So this is getting the manure. She's putting it up until we fill this pit, then we take it out with a front end loader. So she's just making room for when we do the stalls today because it's thawing out so nicely. They'll be able to go in and do the stalls. So it's a lot of cleanup here. There's a lot of poop happening. So, right, Annalise?
Is there any men who work on the farm or only women?
It's all women because we have to get things done. So it's all women.
It would never get done.
So nice.
So I have a lot of women workers. We do. You need help, honey? Yeah. We do have men. We have Dean, the pig guy, and of course you know Matt, our video guy, and our book author, which I never did show the book, sorry. We do have 3 books that Matt wrote, and we have a yogi book coming out, so he says. We've been on him since before Christmas, people, right?
Yeah,
I think.
That's a big thing that delayed it.
Oh.
That they don't know about yet.
But you were sleeping? Hi guys. How are you?
You gotta wave.
Say hi. No, say
He's
hi.
so cute.
Say hi.
So you can bring little ones here. There's no age requirement.
They're coming to say hi to you.
We have kids that are newborn. I'm like, wow, they bring their kids out, they just bundle them up and you're good to go. You just got to be careful.
She says that the men would run away because it's too much work.
Aunt Sue. Hey Dean, would you like to show us any pig? Oh, there goes Reggie. Here, wait, let's show these two. Right here, Matt.
No, I can't go that fast.
Matt, I know, Matt. You have snail space. So this is.
Identical twins.
They're not identical twins. I just forgot their names because I'm so.
Malibu
and Coconut. Malibu has the darker face. We call them the Rum Brothers.
Look, Aunt Sue. There's a guy.
Look, Aunt Sue. Wait, put your. That right here. So he's being a good boy. He's wearing his mask. You want to show us a pig?
Yeah, let's go this way.
So Dean is he was a guy who came to visit one day with his sister, and he was like, yeah, whatever.
But he's part girl, right?
He's not part girl.
There's only girls that work here, Dean.
So, and he wound up kept asking to see these pigs. So I finally said, do you want to go in and see them? I let the pigs out once in a while, and I said, you want to go in and see them?
So he was just a volunteer?
So he was a visitor, and I had him go in with the pigs, and he wouldn't leave. He was here all day. I'm like, what's that dude doing with the pigs all day?
The farm closed, he was still here?
No, he did leave, but came back.
Slept with the pig.
Came back, and then came back again, and then he's been here ever since.
Huh.
And so he is our resident pig guy. He does live at his own house, but he's here a lot. So you want to talk about them?
This is Bubba.
Bubba?
Bubba's a good place to start.
Bubba's going to go on a diet because he could lose a couple of pounds, but he's actually a really good boy. He's a mini pig, so everybody pictures mini pigs being like this, and in reality, if you're not ready for this, you don't want a mini pig because they get this big.
They do get big. He is definitely overweight.
He's a little overweight.
And
but
a lot of people get pigs. I've said this over and over again on my lives, that pigs are not the best pet to have unless you can have them outside.
Oh, yeah.
People get them for inside, and they say, well, I bought a teacup pig. Did you ever see them? There is no such thing. That is a myth. The only way you can get your pig to stay that small is if you don't feed them. We don't suggest not feeding them. So,
Laura, is your farm wheelchair accessible?
My farm is wheelchair accessible, and if, like today especially because things are kind of drying out, if it's a little muddy, we do have golf carts that we can drive you around if you want to get around. And if you can't, or say you don't have a wheelchair, we actually do have a wheelchair here. We can put you in that, or you can we can drive you around in the.
We could show you the difference between a mini pig and not a mini pig. This is Wilbur. So this is the Wilbur.
This is the Wilbur.
The Charlotte Wilbur.
He weighs close to 1,000 pounds.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Hey, buddy.
He was found running around the town, Tucker, really? Around the town of Richland, which is the next town over. I was on a business trip, and my volunteers called and said, Lori, there's this pig. And I'm like, no, we have too many. We don't have space. Well, I came back from the business trip, and there was a new pen built in with the emu, and here was Wilbur, and he was a little guy. You can see his ear. See how it's sliced? There was a tag that meant he was going to become somebody's food, and somehow he escaped. Whether he busted out, fell off a truck, I don't know, or if it was in somebody's backyard. We never did find out. We did ask. After so many days of holding him, he legally becomes ours, and he is a sweetheart, but he is a very, very large pig. They are very neat. They don't poop or pee in their areas. They go outside. They're very intelligent. Normally they don't. Yes. Sometimes when they're overweight, they get lazy and they go to the potty.
They snore like humans?
They snore like humans.
That snoring sound is Spot right here.
This is Spot.
So we need to give them separate rooms so the others can sleep more.
They do get cold. They don't have hair. This is hair like hairbrush hair. So they sometimes get cold, so they like to be up against each other to keep body heat, just like humans. So if you lay together, we also give them blankets. So a lot of people give us blankets. It's not that cold right now, but at night, Dean will give them blankets, correct? Yep. We get fresh hay for them. We pretty much just keep adding hay here because they do eat the hay and straw. I'm sorry. Yep. Straw has holes in it, so it can keep the heat in and keep them warm. These are windbreaks to kind of keep the warmth in. But at night,
I think. We take them down in the summer.
Yeah, we take them down in the summer. But we have, how many pigs are usually in here sleeping in this one?
Usually there's 3 in here. Piggy Smalls, Spot, and Wilbur sleep together most of the time. Bubba and Fluffernutter sleep together most of the time, and Penelope and Sheldon sleep together most of the time.
So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Norman?
Norman the pig. Oh, he's right around the corner.
We'll go see Norman.
Yep.
We're like, it took us a minute. Did you notice? We're like, Norman. Oh, we know who Norman is. There's a lot of names here. We try not to have doubles. Come on. Look at the one pig. Come on, dogs. Puppy. I can't yell because of my microphone.
That's Fluffernutter.
If you want to get him. This is Farley, the farm manager, getting lots of loving. God bless you.
How old do you have to be to volunteer?
Hi, Joanne. You can be any age to volunteer. We have as young as 3 up to 83. But you can be any age to volunteer. You can volunteer as long or as short as you like. A lot of places they say you have to be 16. You have to do pooper scooper duty. You don't. You can kind of come and say, if you're 3 years old, you're not going to be able to poop or scoop. Maybe you can brush a horse or socialize a kitten.
Poop or scoop, Lori.
If I had a 3-year-old, they'd be able to poop or scoop. But there's some 3-year-olds that can't. So we don't just make you do not fun jobs.
What's
kind
the name
of
the little tan terrier.
The little tan terrier.
Puppy ears.
That would be Puppy or Gunner. We have 2. One is I have 3 little dogs. I did have Scrappy. Scrappy did get adopted, as I said earlier. We're going to go see Norman, the pig. Thank you, Dean, because we kind of sprung this on him. We didn't have... It is 10:55, so we have a few more minutes. So,
That person's must be-
yes, I was just going to say, they're driving a little fast. Brooklyn!
Oh,
Brooke!
Brooklyn's right in the cellar.
Brooklyn is yelling to say, slow down. Hi, guys. So, that's to make, so if somebody is coming in a little fast, the dogs will let them know, or the other animals run right out in front of them like, excuse me, you're going too fast. Here's Norman. Can you go see? So Norman has a little bit of a longer snout than the others, and he is a proper sized weight pig.
He's a good sized mini pig.
He is a mini pig, and that is what they're supposed to look like. You can see his hooves look good, he has hair.
I'm 68. What can I do?
Oh, Barbara says, I'm 68. What can I do to volunteer? So it's not all about, even some people come here and they're not even big animal fans. You can sit at the front gate and tell people where to go and what to do. Make sure that they signed in and signed a waiver. We have a snack bar. You can help out with that. You can sit in the cat house and just make sure people, know what he's going to go sit in his lap. You can see. So see, he says, I don't have anybody to cuddle up to, Dean. I need a roommate. We're working on that. And it can't be Dean. But you can see the pigs are definitely,
Very lovely.
they're very loving.
Katie
Most
says,
of them.
Thank you so much for showing Norman.
That's
It made
Norman.
Her daughter's day.
Who was asking for Norman?
Her name's Katie Scheck.
Katie. I'm glad you got to see Norman. And then do we want to talk about any of these others? Or maybe we'll come back to pigs on another time, but we'll show. We have 25 pigs, and we are at capacity. A lot of people say, oh, they have pigs at the funny farm. We have everything at the funny farm, but we can't get ourselves in trouble.
Canyon.
We have to, let's go see Canyon. We have to make sure that we have space and the proper facilities. We don't want to hurt the ones we're trying to help. Here's the donkeys hanging out with the kids. And you can see this little tiny child in between. Again, that's why we sign waivers. But my donkeys are very, very sweet. Look at how little. She's like, okay, let's see how to feed. Open your hand flat, and mom's helping. Good. So what I do is, can I show on their hand? So if you take the hand and I go hold the little fingers and the thumb, and then I'll give her a piece if you want to put a piece right there.
Yeah.
And then I say, here you go. He's like, I don't see it. Come here, Tico. Kathy. He doesn't want that. They don't want that one. Good job, though. Hi, Kathy Amy to me. Krasnowski is her new name. We miss you. Where's the pigs? All right, we'll get you set up with Dean. He'll take you in to see a pig if you want. So if you guys, there's Dean right there. If you guys walk in, he'll take you in to see a pig. So see, she wanted to see a pig, and she said, where's pigs? Where's pigs? You can, if you have a request, we will take care of it. There's Cowboy. This person's making sure that they're not driving too fast. Here we go. Let's go see Canyon. Love the masks. So we get to see some fun masks here. Thanks for coming, guys. Uh-oh, Matt, I don't know what happened.
Wait a second.
Is it still green?
Wait, let me see.
It fell out.
Why did you break it?
I didn't break it.
You always break it.
I don't see a light.
Let me see. Hold on.
It's green. I see it.
All right, so just put it in your pocket.
Don't tell me what to do.
We only have one microphone left.
All right, it's back on. This is Canyon. Every week we pretty much show him because there's always some request. He's missing an eye, and he can be a little naughty, and he has to get his eyes scratched.
Oh, Lord.
He does. If you have a cavern, you want to be able to, he can't take his hoof and put it in there. So I have to help him scratch it out. It's itchy, right? It gets itchy, right? So his eye was poked. A lot of people ask, what happened? His eye was poked out by a barbed wire at another farm. You can tell we don't have barbed wire here. Even our cows stay in a wooden fence. Hey, he can be naughty, so you don't ever turn your back to him because he's like, I'm disabled, and he thinks he can get away with a little bit more. So you have to watch him. He also has a sway back, and a lot of times it's from heavy people being on horses that are too young, and they'll get that sway back. However, he is like Lady Gaga, and he was born that way. So I saw baby pictures of him, and he always had a sway back. So it's a defect like Tucker and Jesse. Matter of fact, where is Jesse? I guess a volunteer must have
Must
him.
be up on the porch.
I hope. He has his coat on, so I'm not too worried. He doesn't really, his little legs can't keep up, so he doesn't follow me all the way out to the farm. Usually I'm holding him.
Sheila
So-
says, Matt, you need to tell Lori what to do once in a while. LOL.
Sheila. He could say it as much as he wants, but let's go look at, and maybe with the project. Oh, look, there's somebody else. Hi, guys. Good, how are you? So we have all different volunteer groups coming. We have Shawnee. A lot of places are closed, so they can't get their volunteer hours in if they have to do it for school. You can do it here, whether it's community service for Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or the Key Club. We had an Eagle Scout to complete his Eagle project. He needed to do something, and where are you going to go? So he was able to come here. It took him a little bit, but this was supposed to be a little chicken house, but it turned out to be a pheasant coop. Want to come see the pheasant? He is a golden pheasant. So you can see, oh look, and then we have little quail. Watch this, can you see? Tucker, stay out. Come in, Matt.
They're going to try to get up.
I'm gonna close this.
Okay.
So can you see the little quail? So we have little quail. They live on the ground and they go in that little house. And then we also have a golden pheasant.
Debbie, I love that you two argue. That's what keeps it real, and it's so awesome. Well, only because I'm right.
Well, you know, he's always trying to think that he knows what's... Matt, he's out here. Again. Oh, there he is, up on his perch. Look how pretty. It's all right. We're not going to get you.
We're not going to hurt you.
He used to live in a small cage and was rescued.
There you go.
He's not used to people being in his area with him.
He's like, I want to stay warm.
So this is a new area for him. And people are just like, what is that? I would love to get him a girlfriend. But he was rescued. He was found in the backyard of somebody's house. And they are not indigenous. How do you like me pulling out that word, even though I'm tired? Indigenous. There we go. Oh. To New Jersey. So he probably was somebody's purchased bird. All right, we'll go out.
Let him get calmed down.
Dogs do not chase. Don't scare him. Hey, let me close this, though.
Yeah.
He'll come back in. But they're not indigenous to here, so they most likely he got loose from somebody's area. And puppy, come here.
All right, Virginia Ayers is on her way over with a Christmas tree.
All right, so we have lots of Christmas trees. We'll end with Tico.
Okay.
So thank you guys for joining in. As a recap, if you want to come visit, we are open today. We're open Tuesdays and Sundays. The reason we're not open more is because I work full time. So Tuesdays and Sundays, rain or shine, sleet. Even when it was so icy cold last week, we had probably 5 or 6 families still show up. So as long as you bundle up, you can go in our big barn and keep warm. You have to sign a waiver and you do have to wear a mask unless you have a medical issue. If you have a medical issue, you know, we get that. But we have not had any issues here, knock wood, and we hope to to keep it that way. So let's all kind of continue until we can get safe and you can come and enjoy the animals at the Funny Farm. There's Lexi, Mary Moo Moo, and Stella. She's the only fainting goats left inside of her house. They like to climb. These are my younger girls. So they're all together. They have their roosters are their friends and a duck. The one duck lives with them too. Actually, 2 ducks.
Thank you so much for your video, and Sheila Smith, have a great day.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks all for tuning in, and we will see you next Sunday. Have a great rest of your day.